One of the biggest stories in 2019 has been the global growth concern. And the global growth concern was triggered between the US and China trade war, with the US and China making up around 40% of the world's GDP. You can see why the market was so concerned and focused on these trade deals. And obviously, where the US and China go, the rest of the world will follow. A booming US and China will bring the rest of the world with it, and a failing US and China will bring and drag down the rest of the world too. So the focus has been on the US-China trade relationship. And of course, President Trump has been making a number of statements, and there's been an antagonistic relationship between US and China over the last year. Now, I'm expecting that to carry on in 2020. And in this video, I will show you the currency pair that I personally like to trade on the optimism and pessimism of the global growth story between US and China.
The Australian dollar Japanese yen currency pair is a great global risk currency pair to trade, particularly looking at the US-China trade deal. And I just want to illustrate that to you recently. Here on the 12th of December, we can see that the Australian dollar Japanese yen pair was bid on optimism that Donald Trump said we're going to make a very big deal with China. Then there was an announcement from the Wall Street Journal that there's going to be tariffs going to be rolled back. There's going to be some other kind of subsidies, and everything was looking great for the US-China trade deal. So then the Australian dollar Japanese yen pair rocketed up yesterday on that good news. Now you can see it's shooting down now, and it won't be a surprise to you that is on a reversal of that sentiment, a reversal of that mood, because Donald Trump has now tweeted that the Wall Street Journal story yesterday, on the 12th of December, it's now the 13th at the time of making this video, that the China deal is completely wrong, especially on tariffs. And then there was some reports that all the China tariffs cuts were wrong, according to Axios, who was citing an official. So all of a sudden, the good optimism on the China trade deal has been reversed with some pessimism that actually there's no closer to a deal. And I'm currently waiting for China's State Council, who are going to hold a press conference, particularly on these US-China trade talks. So the story's not over yet. But what I want to illustrate to you is on optimism, the Australian dollar Japanese pair rises. On pessimism, the Australian dollar Japanese yen pair falls. So the key thing to be aware of is the two components of this. So the Australian dollar, about 30% of Australia's GDP comes from its trade with China. The Japanese yen is a traditional safe haven currency. Therefore, when things are looking good for China, things are also looking good for the Australian dollar. Things are also looking positive for risk. That's why we see Australian dollar strength, Japanese yen weakness. So on a positive mood, that's where we get the Australian dollar Japanese yen rising. And then the opposite happens when there's some negative news. So if it looks like the China deal isn't going to be done, then the Japanese yen strengthens and the Australian dollar tumbles because of its close relationship and trade with China. So there you have it, the Australian dollar Japanese yen pair. It's a great pair to trade all through 2019 on this US-China trade negotiation. And my hunch is that these trade negotiations, deals, half deals, denials, rumours, it's going to carry on through 2020 as well. So be prepared, and the Australian dollar Japanese yen pair is a great pair for expecting buyers and sellers on the ebbs and flows of that trade negotiation.